Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I upload timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this message is when you're meant to hear what it is. And in case you subscribe, I upload videos for Taurus and Scorpios on Tuesdays. For those of you interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Sun and Moon Tarot. And as always, you can find the link in the description to get a personal reading. I do see the cards that are flipping over in the deck. However, I do not take them unless they pop out of the deck. Alright, you guys, so there is a lot of water energy that you have right now, which tells me that you guys are dealing a lot with emotions. And I know that that might come as a surprise to some of you guys because emotions aren't always the easiest thing for earth signs to process, but you know, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. But like I was saying, I see a lot of water energy. I see the Queen of Cups, Two of Cups, Eight of Cups, and Three of Cups, right? And then two of those are progression, right? So you have the 2 to the 3. Beyond that, I see the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords, which tells me that you're kind of in your head a little bit. And then I see the Six of Wands and the Sun, which to me are both very fiery energy. There's a very distinct lack of also the Ace of Wands as your overall energy with more fire. But like I was gonna say, there's a very distinct lack of earth energy to me, which tells me that you guys aren't exactly feeling yourselves right now. I think that you'll like catch yourself thinking about these things and be like, whoa, that's not like me. Like, who is this? You know, that kind of an energy. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, especially with this Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands to me is usually a really good thing. It brings forth passionate new beginnings, right? And then we have the Six of Wands down here, which is victory. So I'm seeing a lot of good stuff for you guys. But like I was saying, usually when I see the Ace of Wands, I like to think of it as like the first step of a 3-step process where you come up with a situation, or a plan for the situation, I should say. Right, so the Ace of Wands is like the new opportunity that's being presented to you, whereas the Two of Wands could be like you sitting down and planning out what it is that you're going to do. And then the Three of Wands, to me, is like you've already carried out your action and now you're waiting to see your ships to come in, right? So you're waiting to see what your results are. And, you know, it's not necessarily that for everyone, but I really do get that you guys are seeing a really passionate new beginning right now, particularly in love, because with this Two of Cups is the soulmate card, right? So to get it in conjunction with this Queen of Wands here, or sorry, I should say Queen of Cups, tells me that you guys are feeling very emotional. For some of you, this Queen of Cups might be you, but I'm getting that for most of you, this Queen of Cups energy is the other person. So you could be dealing with a water sign, such as Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Or someone who has very heavy or prominent positions of those signs in their chart. And with this Three of Cups usually talks about reunions. So I'm under the impression that you guys are meeting up with someone who you haven't talked to in a while. or perhaps walking away from someone like that, because you have the Eight of Cups, right? The Eight of Cups talks about walking away. So another interpretation for the Three of Cups is third-party situations, right? So there's three people here, and to see sort of three people in a love scenario, you know, isn't always the best thing to have, unless you're like in a polyamorous relationship or something like that. But I'm getting that for most of you, you aren't. For those of you who are in like committed relationships and there's one too many people, I feel like you're walking away from that element. And I feel like it could be a different person entirely almost for some of you. And that opens up the space for this Queen of Cups. But I definitely, another reason why I'm feeling that it's two people is with this Two of Swords, because I'm definitely getting this energy of you having to balance something and you being indecisive about a situation. I almost feel like you guys might be going back and forth a little bit on what your thoughts are of the situation as well. So it might be like you say something, but then like later that day you're like, oh wait, but what about this? Or maybe it's like that or whatever. And it's sort of got you in your head a little bit. You know, you're kind of, I wouldn't say tossing and turning at night, because that's more of like a Nine of Swords energy, but I am getting that you're sort of thinking about it. You're letting it sort of rattle in the old brain. And with the Six of Swords, I feel like you're not necessarily in the happiest moods about that. You know, you don't want to be stressed out about these things. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't know what's going on, or where there's indecision or insecurity, I'm getting. Even though the Two of Swords doesn't necessarily talk about insecurity, that's just a word that's popping into my mind, which I think is very much related to you guys right now. For some of you, you might have suffered wounds in love in the past, and that's why you have these insecurities. But I'm definitely getting that with the Six of Swords, you want to walk away from that, right? So the Six and the Eight, or rather the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups are both cards about walking away. So to have them both in such close proximity tells me that you guys are walking away from something. Walking away from something almost like that old saying, the grass is greener on the other side. And finally, that brings me sort of to this Sun energy. So with the Sun energy, you know, the Sun is the happiest card in the tarot. And unfortunately, you have it in reverse, right? So, but don't freak out, because, you know, people will say that the reverse is like the opposite, but I don't think so. I think that to see a card in reverse can mean a lot of things, and particularly when I see the Sun, I think it means that your blessings, everything, your happiness, everything that comes with the Sun card is being blocked for some reason, right? So it's almost like something is blocking almost the beginning of this relationship, I would say. I feel like there's an inception of a relationship here waiting to happen, but it's not quite happening. For some of you, you might be getting a lot of those sort of false starts where you're both into each other, but nothing ever really gets done. And I think that is in part due to this Three of Cups energy. There might be one too many people, like I said before. Maybe somebody is stuck on an ex, and that's why there's sort of this wanting for a reunion. Because a lot of times people, when they break up, they sort of default to going back to the ex. Well, I shouldn't say default. Depends on the person, of course. But I think that you might be dealing with somebody who wants to go back to their ex, even though they themselves are this Queen of Cups energy. And I'm almost getting like they're gonna see you and you're gonna come out on top. Because even though the Sun card is delayed, or rather I should say blocked, I'm getting the sense that it's only delayed and not blocked entirely. Because you have the Six of Wands here, and the Six of Wands is victory. So to see the Six of Wands right next to the happiest card in the deck tells me that, you know, a lot of the sort of negative effects that I was talking about earlier have been mitigated to a degree. And with this Ace of Wands, I feel that you guys are going to see that passionate new beginning, right? Oh, sorry. I'm messing with my light, trying to get some better lighting here, because better with the glare. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing that right now. But the point is, I'm seeing that you guys are getting very powerful new beginning in love. Walking away, powerful new beginning in love. I think is what I'm going to title the video. But that was your reading for this time around, Taurus. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really like to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, my new Taurus videos go up on Tuesdays, but you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time.